It's not a bird, it's not a plane, it's Superhero Slate. It's a weekly podcast where we talk about everything that's great, like movies, TV, superheroes. It's Superhero Slate. Oh yeah.
Hello everyone and welcome to Superhero Slate, the show where we run down the latest superhero entertainment news.
We love TV, movies, and superheroes, so let's talk it all out.
My name is Chris.
And my name is Mike.
And this week, we've already got One Piece Season 3 confirmed. Mike.
Finally.
There were
I was nervous, Chris.
There were too many numbers in there for me, and I about had a stroke. One Piece Season 3 confirmed, absolutely. And I know this because when I went to the theaters, they had Joe Mange himself there with his little teacup looking chihuahua thing in his hands, telling us that he was filming season 3. So very excited to talk about that later. The Punisher gets more than one last kill because he killed a lot of people in this trailer.
Like, are we to assume that in Spider-Man he won't be killing anyone because it's PG-13?
It could be.
We'll figure that out.
Yeah. If not, this trailer, he definitely kills more than one person. Absolutely just destroys them in that regard. Mortal Kombat 2 brings the popcorn buckets and that classic theme song Mike was even singing before we started, and more.
Yeah, we're here. It is an unusual weekend in Los Angeles where everybody is gone because it's the first weekend of Coachella, but it also rained. So it's like there's not as many people in the city and everyone's inside.
Okay.
So
right.
we were just out at brunch, and it was like a lovely, like, little idyllic Sunday morning. And Chris is like doing the opposite of just like raw dogging the road.
Yeah, that's right.
Said I'm gonna go to Texas for the weekend and forget flying on a plane. 4 tires on the asphalt and stopping at every Buc-ee's along the way.
That's right. So let me tell you a story, Mike. And to do that, we gotta crack open a cold one because this journey started Tuesday immediately after work. My wife picked me up 5 o'clock on the money from my office, and we immediately started driving to Texas. And one of the cool things about driving to Texas is there's a time change. So after I'd made it like an hour and a half in, time went back, and I was like, oh, look, I only drove like an hour. We've made it so far. Or half an hour. We only made it so far. But we drove all the way to Memphis and stayed on the Arkansas side. So essentially tackled all of Kentucky and Tennessee in one night. And then the next day drove from the border of Tennessee, Arkansas through Texas. Most of that day, a 10-hour day, was Texas. Because I don't know if you know this, Mike, it's a huge goddamn state. It's big. Very big. And we were going to Austin, which isn't like the middle. So it's like, a geographical oddity. It's like two weeks from everywhere to get to Austin. But to your point, on the way down, I stopped. I touched at least 4, maybe 5 beavers. Every Buc-ee's along the way. I got to touch a beaver. Nothing there. Also, they got great bathrooms. The drink and snack selection is all uniquely theirs, which we're going to talk about a drink that I literally had to stop in Arkansas to get. Because we couldn't find anywhere else. But we drove to Austin, Texas, spent a few days down there with our friends. It was great. It was raining down there in Texas, so like it maybe got to 80 one day, but it was like 80 that you could deal with in a t-shirt and jeans because of like the rain like breaking through the heat itself. Had a good time. I did stop at least 2 used game stores, Mike, because obviously who am I if not a used game store person? And I got the light gun for Xbox, the original Xbox, for Silent Scope. I don't know if you ever played Silent Scope games.
Whoa! I gotta Google this.
So I
original Xbox light gun.
It's a big green
Silent
Scope.
It is green. Oh, I'm seeing it. Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. I didn't even know this existed.
Yeah, it works on like 4 games. Starsky and Hutch, which is funny. Silent Scope Complete, which is I think 3 Silent Scope games. And it's also got a sensor, so if you put your eye up to the scope, it actually knows that you're scoping in, which is pretty neat. And I think the other game, House of the Dead 3, which is another shooting game for that.
There's a Mad Catz version of this gun that is 100% Mad Catz of like, the original one looks like a actual pistol that's painted green. Let's just make this weird alien-looking blob that has a magazine sticking out of it. That'll be our Mad Catz version.
Exactly. We have some random plastic mold, and we're just going to put a light gun in it. But I felt stereotypical going to Texas and buying a gun. So that's
that's your version of it.
Yeah. So I did that, and then we woke up 6 Central Time yesterday and drove straight back. No major stops, no overnights. We 16-houred that trip yesterday. And it's funny because everyone's like, oh, how's the trip? I'm like, trip there is great, but like everything feels surreal when you just make like a 2-day trip to a town. And 2 of those, 4 out of 4 days, 2 of those are driving. So it just felt so surreal. But we did stop at some more Buc-ee's along the way. It was fine. It was a great time. No
was it a creamy trip, Chris? That's what we all want to know.
To say the least, I was being very concerned. Mike has had creamy dew for at least a week, if not more.
Oh God, exactly.
And
it's weird. I'm not used to getting it before you.
Yeah, I'm like, how the hell have I not seen this where I live or anywhere, any of the gas stations along the way? Buc-ee's also doesn't sell Pepsi products, by the way, so that was a no-go at any Buc-ee's we were at. But I was getting very concerned. Then I got a notification from my Walmart app that was like, hey, you noticed you looked at this product. We now have it in stock back home. I'm like, those sons of bitches. So we were driving back, and I stopped at a gas station in Arkansas just to use the bathroom. We were like on the border, and I was like, okay, let's go to the bathroom. Like on the border of Tennessee, Arkansas. I was like, this is wild. And they had one little section of Mountain Dew, Dirty Dew zeros. They didn't have any regular sugars. They said the zero ones because no one in Arkansas is buying zero sugar drinks. Let's be honest. So I was able to get one, yes, from a bottle, not a can like you have, and not in large quantities. But I did have that nice cold, dirty Dew, which was just cream on my lips, Mike. If to put it,
mildly,
not even mildly, to put it very suggestively. You've had, how many have you had out of your 12-pack this week?
Well, Chris, I think this kind of goes into our our spoiler cast for the new Dirty Mountain Dew. I bought a 12-pack at full price from Walmart because there was only one 12-pack left, only way I could get it. And I gave the rest away because I hated it. I really wasn't into it. I was hoping, because the biggest thing I don't like about the dirty soda wave is that at the end of the day, I think my favorite thing about soda is the carbonation. And if you add cream to it, it kind of kills it. So I was like, oh, this is going to be kind of like almost like a cream soda version of Dew. And I think the problem overall with it is not necessarily the flavor. I just do not like the zero sugar Mountain Dew. If they would have added this flavoring to the Diet Dew, I'd be all over it. But just the whatever sweetener concoction that they have powering the zero sugar model, it was just not cut enough for me with the Dirty Dew flavoring, and I gave the rest. I gave the rest away. I blessed my community with 11 cans of Dirty Dew. But Chris, what was your experience?
I lean the other way. So I don't know if maybe it's the bottle, the quantity I had, but like to me, if you want to do this at home and you can't find it, grab a A&W cream soda and a Mountain Dew and do 50-50. Is all it tastes like to me. Is half cream soda, half this. It's not like the cream.
I should give that a shot.
It's not the creamer at all. It's not the like I've had the Dews with like the cream from like the restaurants or like the a real Dirty Dew, but like this is just 50-50 cream soda, 50-50 Mountain Dew. Like it's really just all I got, and it was fine. My wife asked me, she's like, "Yeah, if I see these, do you want to buy some?" I was like, "No, I'm good. I had a bottle. I think I'm fine." Like this isn't like my go-to. I don't think I hated it as much as you did. I think the bottle was carbonated enough for me. I didn't have that lack of carbonation. I know what you're talking about though. But I would try a 50-50 AW cream soda, just do and see if you like that, because that might be the way to get your carbonation and try a Dirty.
I mean, I tell you what, if you spring one of these cans on like a normal person that is not in this like niche little special run flavor community, the biggest note I got back was there's so many words on this can because it's dirty, zero sugar, Mountain Dew, cream soda, Dew. It's like a whole paragraph explaining to you what you're about to drink. So it is a little unapproachable.
I think it's
but
no
I
one
was
knows,
able to.
I don't think the regular Dew drinkers know what a dirty soda is, so I think they have to explain it's not really dirty. It's just cream soda.
I did have to clarify with a couple people that dirty did not mean hard. I was like, this is a non-alcoholic. I know it kind of seems like we got dirty drinks, we got hard drinks, you got dirty martinis, you got hard lemonades. It's confusing out there, Chris, because you shared with me. There's nothing more confusing to me than the Liquid Death brand.
Yeah.
Because I their marketing is top notch. They found a way to sell water to a crowd that normally wouldn't buy a water, so I'll pat them on the back for that. But their product lineup is so confusing to me because at first they were just doing still and sparkling water, and then they went into the flavored water routes, which would be comparable to like a LaCroix or like a bubbly or something like that.
But
Which
stronger.
that makes total sense. I don't see why you don't go that direction, right? But then they started going into iced teas, and then they finally got into like the sweetened arena where they're putting like stevia in it. So like I'll look at a Liquid Death like at the grocery store and I'll be like, I don't even know what experience this is going to be. I have to like analyze the ingredients on the back to know if this one is just going to be like water or if it's going to be like more like a cola, which is confusing because didn't they also have a cola flavored one that wasn't sweetened, or am I crazy?
I think you're crazy. If they did, it was like a short-lived promotion then, because I know, like, I'll try them all, and the one I had Mike's referring to is called Mountain Don't instead of Mountain Dew, which is funny, play on words. And I drink it, and it is essentially it gives more lemon lime soda than Mountain Dew. Like, you know, like they don't quite understand what a Mountain Dew is. So it gave more lemon lime, but it was fine. It's just like I said, the antithesis of the dirty dews. It's like, yeah, this is like a dirty dew by like means like, hey, this is bootleg. This is a bootleg Mountain Dew, and it doesn't taste anything like a real one. A can version of a Mountain Dew. That's what we're gonna call it.
They also have their own energy drinks now too, and I haven't even seen them in store, but I know they have them because weirdly enough, I've heard radio commercials for them where they say, "Oh, this is more of an easy caffeine intake where it won't like blow the top of your head off." So that makes me think, oh, they're competing directly with like Monster energy drink, but like, you know, Monster is a very sweet profile. So like all I'm trying to say is like the lineup is insane over there at Liquid Death. They're trying to saturate every category of beverage.
Well, they've got their base down, water and sparkling water. And how do we just add more to that for sure? Because I had the energy drinks, and I think they're like half the caffeine of like my Alani's that I drink daily, or Red Bull. But as Mike said, they are stevia flavored. So if you do not like the stevia flavored drinks, steer clear of those. I drink them like, you know, if I was like, oh, I need a little bit of a late afternoon hit, but like I don't want a full Red Bull or something. But they kind of seem to be maybe more comparable to like people who are drinking, what are they called? Like the Bloom drinks or something like that. Like they're not going for the monster.
No, those aren't on my radar. Those aren't on my radar right now.
Yeah, my wife had one this week because obviously we were traveling, so we were like little, you know, just car lagged, not jet lagged, but car lagged. And she was like, "All right, I can get behind this." I'm like, "Yeah, I guess it's fine." But anyway, Dirty, I'm actually drinking one of my claw tails right now. Still, that's what I cracked open. I'm drinking a dirty drink, a hard drink, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink.
Hard and dirty.
Mm-hmm. But not creamy at all. So let's get into some news here, Mike. Saw this weekend. I'm going to chalk this up as movie maker propaganda, if you will. Apparently, James Cameron says he can only make Avatar 4 and 5 if they're cheaper and shorter. Currently, all three movies have totaled $6.7 billion, so $2.2 billion per film average. And they already have 22% of Avatar 4 already filmed. I think this is like, I think the third one, Fire and Ash, came in like 1.4 to 1.6 billion, I think, which is nothing to scoff at. Like, who the fuck's like saying, 1.6 billion, you'll never make another movie again. But like, I feel Avatar 4 and 5 are inevitable. Never bet against James Cameron, as we say on here. But if he's like, we got to make them cheaper and shorter, it sounds like maybe, I don't know if this is like a mandate from the new guy at Disney. Who's like, you got to do this to make more money. I don't know. Any idea where this is coming from, Mike? Because this is kind of out of the blue for me.
Yeah, I don't know. I know a lot of rumors are swirling around, especially on the theme park side of things, which, if you're ever in the theme park news kind of algorithm, there's nothing more theoretical or rumor based out there because these are like big, like earth moving shovels in the ground projects. So it's not like, there's some like soft, like pre-production happening somewhere where somebody's like writing
You
a
can't
script,
fake
even
it
though
out.
I'm sure that, yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of rumors swirling around of like, oh, will the Avatar expansion come to California Adventure? Are they going to swap it out for Zootopia instead? And I think these are just people drawing at straws. Also, like it makes sense. I mean, right? Zootopia just made a ton of money. So if you have to make these theme park plans way in ahead of time, and then the future all of a sudden changes underneath your feet of like, oh, well, Zootopia is really successful. There actually might be more longevity here to a structure that gets built and lasts for maybe decades. I don't know. But all that being said, if the only way to get two more Avatar movies is to make them a little bit shorter, okay, I'm fine with it. I mean, we have three Avatar movies that basically net to like six Avatar movies, if you divide them just by time and maybe like chapters and acts. But
I
I
don't think
would.
our complaints for Avatar will ever make them shorter either. But like, obviously, if they're shorter, they're going to be cheaper, right? Together. So like, my
There could be some. I feel like there's theoretical cost savings out there. I mean, James Cameron has already kind of said that he is kind of okay with the idea of AI as long as it's somehow ethical, which I think is going to be hard to prove even on the environmental side of things. But also, like, I feel like Weta and his VFX team have kind of like perfected their pipeline. I feel like they don't need to do any more innovation. They're amazingly beautiful.
Yeah.
Just keep using that same engine and crank out two more movies. And then if we are possibly seeing, a return to Earth, maybe I will naively say that maybe that could be cheaper, but I think we can all assume that the Earth that they visit would be entirely CG as well.
yeah, especially if it's like a dying Earth, like it's not like current Earth or whatever. Like
I want to see what it looks like so bad.
I
Like
do too.
is it
Yeah.
really dying, or is it going to be like one of those things where like, oh, Earth looks beautiful and
Yeah.
it just proves that like humans are just greedy and they'll go after stuff even when they don't need to. I'm really curious.
To me, it's like like Dread, the city from Dread, where it's just all like urban landscapes or whatever.
Maybe it is dying and decaying, but somehow, some way, some sort of like Navi foliage like makes it to Earth, and there's like a new like
Well, the Awa
tree of life or
yeah,
whatever.
it's like
Yeah,
a god
Awa.
thing. Yeah, like a god thing could become that. I want to see where again. I think he's also said like the Avatar 2 and 3 were written by the same team. 4 and 5 are done by a different team, and they're like drastically different. And that would be good. I don't want to see the whale hunting again. I think that's been done.
Yes,
twice.
we're good with the whale, Cameron. We are good with the whales.
Yeah, we
They're
love
great.
them.
I
We
love that
understand not to kill them. Yes. But like, yeah, I agree. They got to change a little bit. I'm not done with these characters. I don't think anybody else should be either. I do want to see 4 and 5. I would like them to do 4 and 5. Maybe release these within a year of each other rather than like a 2 or 3 year break, if that makes sense. Like, hey, we've got a 4 and 5. They're a combo story, and we're gonna tell them like very quickly because I think 2 and 3 might have benefited from 2 ending in like we have 3 done. We know it's coming. Like in like 12 months, get rid like essentially what Avengers is doing, right? Like if you do 4, wait 3 years for 5, I think you lose that steam because then it just feels like another Avatar movie rather than like, okay, 4 and 5 are like, this is the final 2 chapter in James Cameron's current vision. Let's get them done and get them out there along the way.
Yeah, I want to see him drag out every biome of Navi. I want to like, I guess the fire Navi didn't exactly end up being like fire Navi. They were just kind of like almost like an outsider cult that praised a volcano. But it would be kind of cool,
essentially.
Yeah, maybe if there was like an underground Navi, they have like big gigantic eyes and they live under the ground or something like that.
Snow Navi.
I would like to see
Snow Navi.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. There's got to be another side of the planet that's got to be covered in snow. I want to see all of the biomes come together, not unlike Avatar with the different nations.
You know what?
And
that's a great segue. because we're going to talk about some Avatar with some different nations coming up here, and you sent me this on Threads, even though I've seen it, but apparently someone, the studio Paramount, emailed some random person the entire Aang the Last Airbender movie, and the dude's like, I got it, I'm putting some of it online. So I feel that without legal interjection quickly, this entire movie may just end up online like in the next week.
Yeah,
we could be watching
the absolute disrespect of just attaching this movie to an email and sending it out. It is kind of the unintended consequence of a 2D animated film is if you've never like paid attention to file sizes of a movie before, like if you've added it to your local queue like on Netflix or something, animated stuff always have like much lower file sizes because you're not trying to compress like real like human facial tones and like all these backgrounds because they're all animated. So yeah, theoretically it makes it a little easier to attach. That could be a problem there. I didn't want to watch any of it really because obviously I want to watch this movie. I love the series.
Yep.
But I did like scrub through it a little bit to kind of like until my eyes felt like this wasn't a fake AI type of thing, because that's the world we live in now. You could
AI
easily take the posters and concept. Exactly. But no, it looked gorgeous. There's like fully rendered like lighting on the backgrounds, on the faces. There's like contour shading. It's that meme of like, how do you see the difference between a feature and a TV show? It's they put shading on the characters.
Yeah, I watched the clip you sent me simply because I wanted to hear it. Like I wanted like that to me. That's also the tell. Like, does it sound like the characters from the show?
Yeah.
Because this has been done for how long has the show been wrapped up? Like 18 years, 17 years. So I was like, okay, they brought these people back. Do they sound the same as they did all that time ago? And they did. Surprisingly enough, they did. So it was interesting to watch that and see them kind of like up a little bit. This movie was supposed to be in theaters. Paramount has degraded it to a streaming release this October. I think
disrespect?
I was gonna say, is this a malicious like get it out there? Is this a Scooby Doo and Crypto 2 situation where people are just gonna put it online? So like, yeah, if you're not gonna give it the respect is, we're gonna get the fans to rally behind it, kind of thing. And I was like,
if I had to get,
go ahead.
If I had to get entirely conspiratorial, I would think there's a lot of regime change happening over at this studio with the Skydance acquisition and then with the possible HBO acquisition. And if I had to get totally in the weeds, maybe there's some like poor executive producer that got wind they're not going to put our movie out. They're going to just like write it off as, some sort of loss and we're never going to see it again unless I leak it and accidentally, quote unquote, attach it to an email, and then they'll have to release it. So that is just a conspiracy. But if it ends up being true, I mean, think of all the street cred I get for just thinking of it right now.
I just think it's incompetence. I don't think there's actually any strategy behind it. I think it's just pure incompetence over there.
Oh, that's usually the answer to everything nowadays. So you're right.
But if this does go online, this reminds me of the time X-Men Origins Wolverine leaked early, the work print.
And that's why they blame the bad box office.
It didn't have
not because it was awful.
It didn't have a bad box office. That's the worst part. They just said we would have had more sales because it's X-Men, it's Hugh Jackman and Wolverine. Of course, it was going to make money. Not saying it's a good film, but like it still had a good box office. But they're like, we could have had even more box office had people not put this online. So it reminds me of that. So we'll see if this comes up anywhere in the next week. I did do a quick peruse, but nothing's there yet. But I'm surprised that the video file's still on social accounts. Like, there's been no DMCA takedown. That's the other kind of red flag for me. Because usually if it's a leak that they're concerned about, they'll get it removed immediately. So,
maybe it's guerrilla marketing then.
Yeah, it could be. Still incompetence. And Paramount's like, the Paramount, whoever's left there right now, like, we don't even know we had this movie. Like, this is a surprise. So
it's a Sunday. I think the lawyers just don't come in until tomorrow morning. That's when the takedowns will happen.
Yeah, it'll all happen.
They're at Coachella, Chris. All the lawyers are at Coachella. That's why true. It's still up.
I'm like I said, I'm just hoping this whole thing hits the internet. No offense to it. I want it to be released and watched and started, but I want to see the ground swell behind this with that. So if you happen to get online, some of the Aang the Last Airbender movie is there. But that's not why we're here, Mike. We talked about this at the top show, and I was so excited to see this, even though we kind of knew it was coming. But like the fact we got an announcement in the title, One Piece season 3, the Battle of Alabasta is coming in 2027. And I believe in this, I'm going to paraphrase what you said, but you said, suck it, Harry Potter, because you don't have yearly releases. And One Piece is getting yearly releases for their show.
Yeah, I mean, this is the added benefit of not having to go for that magical realism. We were just doing like the most cartoonish, silly things in the One Piece world, live action wise, and it seems like they are going to be at least on a 1.5 year cadence. So it seems like in the next calendar year we'll get another season of One Piece, but it's getting shifted. I would guess if we're getting it 2027, I think it's probably going to be later in the year, not March. I don't think it's gonna be March next year. And like Harry Potter is just like, no, we can't do it.
If it does, I would be surprised, simply because like this is like this whole season's kind of more set in the nation of Alabasta rather than like they're not sailing to multiple islands. So if they're like, oh, we only have one set we have to worry about, rather than build.
Yeah, that could be a benefit. I mean, I was watching. We were watching The Pit on Thursday, and the last episode of the season is this coming week. And I think it's 14 episodes, and it's just been they've gotten 14 weeks out of this show, and then they'll probably go on break, then back into production. I'll get like 14 more weeks of this show next year. And I remember the feeling when it said The Pit was coming back at the top of the year, and I was like, oh my God, we just finished it. It's crazy how the streaming age, the golden age of streaming, had warped our brains to just be like, no, it's okay, I'll finish watching this and I won't see it again for like 2 or 3 years, and I'm gonna have to go on YouTube, and as much as I love the man of recaps, I'm gonna need to watch a recap because I totally forgot about everything. I love that like we're gonna be back in One Piece land next year.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because Daredevil is going on right now after a single year break, right? And you mentioned The Pit. Shows that don't have much CGI can turn around very quickly. You notice that when you're actually doing shows without, graphic effects in it. So to me, that's funny. Also, this week, I don't want to get off track too much, but not just that, but like it was like the perfect trifecta of Invincible, The Boys, and Daredevil all in 1 week.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely a spring powerhouse of stuff there. But back to the Battle of Alabasta. We've got some stuff here. They talk about a rebellion threatens to tear the nation apart, fueled in secret by one of the 7 warlords of the sea, the ruthless Sir Crocodile, and his underground syndicate Baroque Works, who seek to conquer Alabasta for themselves. I just want to say we put out a special review episode of One Piece on YouTube where I combined our 2 parts together. And I want to just thank everybody who's turned up in the comments for being so nice and explaining things to us who don't know what's going on in One Piece. The biggest thing, Mike, they did say Luffy's knuckles were bloodied, by the way, when he climbed that. So we just missed it. So that's like the big thing here. Another thing is for the seawater, the body has to be mostly covered in seawater. It doesn't affect by rain or snow or anything that has normal water.
There seems to be like a bit of a gradient explanation of like they can go into the water, but the farther they get into it, it weakens them. I mean, this is kind of the thing I love and hate about anime, depending on how it's presented, is the rules that are built into the world, because most of the time they're really, really fun. I feel like those out there in the world that write manga love thinking about plotting and rules and setup. Like you just told me there's 7 sea warlords, and that is so up the alley, I feel like, for manga and anime, of just like, oh, there's 7, so now the audience knows that probably as we progress through these 7, they get stronger, they get crazier, and then once you finally get to the last one, you think it's going to be the end, and then, oh, the show's still running or the manga's still running, let's invent like a new group of crazy people that are even stronger than the strongest in the 7. So I love that about anime. There's always something upping the ante in these shows. And we even talked about, and I think in our review of like, we only watched the live action show, so we have no clue if like Baroque Works is just like the Ginyu Force, and they're just
Yeah.
like, you know, a speck of dust in the world of One Piece, and something else is going to come along. Like we know that dude with the tiny little knife who fights Zoro, he's out there. I gotta imagine he could wipe the floor with anyone in Baroque's work,
Oh
just
yeah,
based on like kind of the power levels that we've been shown, you
the
know.
little sword, but he has like the huge cross, wasn't the sword as well? Like, isn't that?
Hmm.
So yeah, I love all these people, and it's just fun to see. Like again, I just want to thank everyone in here. Like this community has been so awesome and informative for us, because like we said, yes, it's long. Yes, we might like it if it is as long as we want to read the manga or watch the anime. It doesn't matter. But like we're in the live action piece, and like, you know, everyone on there has just been so awesome. So thank you for that. The other part of this is Lego One Piece special, as announced, a 2-part special actually, and we have a trailer here, where it's essentially, I believe, the voice cast from Netflix's thing, because Usopp does some of the voiceover, and I'm pretty sure it sounds like the guy who plays Usopp. But it looks like this is a whole thing where Usopp tells Chopper the story of their tales up to that point so far, and it's all done in Lego form, which I love Legos. I love the Lego movies. I love the humor. I love the style. I think this is going to couple with the not really outlandishness, but the like larger than lifeness of One Piece.
Hey, if you're getting adapted into Lego, you've kind of made it here, at least in the West. They're not making Lego adaptations lightly. I mean, you're getting kind of the Star Wars treatment here, because that's what they're doing over on Disney Plus. I loved the visuals in this trailer so much that I wish they were a video game.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've been very pirate pilled, as listeners of the show know, between watching Black Sails and One Piece. And like there's not a lot of pirate video games out there. I did some research. There's like one really popular one, I think it's called Sea of Thieves.
Yes.
Right now, but it seems to be kind of like a multiplayer like type of thing. Like I was kind of hoping for something like very like narrative with like a story.
Assassin's
there's
Creed,
an Assassin's
Black Flag. Yeah,
there's
Black Flag.
There's an Assassin's Creed one, which I don't know, maybe that's worth checking out. I've never played any of the Assassin's Creed games, so I would just be going in like just straight out of nowhere, trying to figure it out. And if it's pirate based, like I guess as long as I get to do cool pirate stuff, that would be cool. So I don't know. Though I'm sure there'll be a sale somewhere on PlayStation Marketplace, and I'll pick something up pirate related. But yeah, send me your pirate related games, any console, any generation.
Well, I'm going to tell you what I didn't tell you is the first video game store I went to where I didn't buy the gun. I bought 2 games. One was a Dragon Ball Raging Blast. It was a 360 game I played as when I had a 360. They also had the CD version of Muppet Treasure Island for Windows 98.
Whoa.
Like, all 3 discs and the manual and the case, and they sold it to me for $2. So
wait, and this was what format?
PC, Windows 98
Oh,
PC game.
That's crazy.
And I was able to pick up this game. So if you want pirate themed games, by God, Muppet Treasure Island for Windows 98 is where you need to be at with that one. But also, if you Lego Pirates of the Caribbean, Mike, they actually already have a base to build off of if they wanted to for that. So they could easily reutilize some of that stuff. But I agree. Lego Batman's coming out, I think, in May. The ultimate whatever, like it's got all the movies in it. So One Piece would be really cool. But anyway, season 3 coming out next year. Very excited. Love this. Can't wait to see more. Alien Earth, a show I hadn't thought about since it ended. And we knew it was getting season 2. Peter Dinklage has joined the cast in a recurring role for the upcoming season, which to me adds a little bit of prestige to it. I don't know about you.
Yes. A little bit of legitimacy. I feel like I haven't heard enough about this show since it ended, Chris, like you just said. So that always makes me a little nervous, because I feel like there's enough here to tell like a full story over a couple of seasons. And I was like, oh, don't cancel it even after the second season. I need this to have the juice. I want it to stick around. I want to follow it. Yeah. So Peter Dinklage, I feel like they're going to get some mileage then.
I think with Alien Earth, if they can, they could tie it into Predator, like the Predator Badlands that came out last year, because it was a Weyland Yutani ship who was looking for alien life forms. I'm like, this is kind of exactly what it is. Like, tie this together somehow. If they can bring some of that, like, they don't have to bring the Predator in, but Predator stuff in Alien Earth, I'd like to see that as well. But Peter Dinklage joining cast with Timmy Oliphant, already doing a great job in there. So let's see how that plays out. Mike, I put this in here for you because I knew you'd be jazzed. Metal Gear Solid movie is in development. From Adam B. Stein and Zach Lipovsky, I think that's how you pronounce it. They did the Final Destination Bloodlines movie that came out last year that a lot of people enjoyed. I don't know. This is where I've looked up. I've done my wiki search on Metal Gear Solid timelines. Is this a big boss? Is this a Solid Snake? Liquid Snake? Who are we? Where's this movie gonna be, Mike? I don't know. They're all clones. They all age up. The Metal Gears are big robots. Who knows? But this sounds like a fun time. What do you think?
Yeah, I just finished playing Metal Gear Solid Delta, that remake of Snake Eater, and when I started playing it, I mentioned on the show just how I forgot just how ridiculous campy this universe is. So this could be a good thing. I mean, I watched Final Destination Bloodlines. There's nothing campier than the way that they kill people in these movies, like the Rube Goldberg, like crazy scenarios that they put them in. So, I mean, if these filmmakers are feeling, like they want to really leverage a worldwide, nerdy IP, I'm excited to see what they can do. I remember I think this was originally under development from Jordan Voight Roberts, who was the director of Kong Skull Island. I think he was also supposed to do a Gundam movie, and I don't think any of those are under his umbrella anymore. So
I wonder who's doing
the world
Gundam
is ever
movie.
changing.
Yeah, I wonder who's doing the Gundam movie, because that's still moving.
Yeah, there was I think I sent it in the group chat earlier this week of a quote from Zach Krieger, the director of Weapons, who's doing this new Resident Evil movie. And it's funny, there was like a poll quote of just like, he hasn't watched any of the Resident Evil movies. And I was like, yeah, I think that's a good thing. Nobody's mad. Like, I'm sure he's played the games. So he's just kind of taking the world from his own point of view. And I think the story is roughly somebody trying to deliver something to Raccoon City. And it's supposed to kind of have like Fury Road vibes to it. So I don't know if something like that is possible with Metal Gear Solid, because Metal Gear Solid very much revolves around like Solid Snake and his character, and he's like a soldier. But I would love maybe a more I'm sorry to insult the storytelling of Hideo Kojima, but the Metal Gear world is insane. And it is, you can watch a 90-minute explainer video on YouTube, and you can probably find a dozen of them that long, and you will still go, what are the Patriots? Like, what is this secret fund from like the Cold War? And it's off the wall. It's nuts.
I don't care, Mike. I want Psycho Mantis to look at my phone and tell me what apps I have on my phone as we're playing with him.
That would be cool.
And then where
Chris, Psycho Mantis in a 4DX theater, and when he looks at like the left side of the room, the chairs shake, and he looks at the right side, the chairs shake. Like, I know that's like super silly and it'll never happen, but that would be kind of sick.
Oh yeah, yeah. How are we gonna unplug our controller ports from port 1 and put it in port 2 without actually playing with controller? But there's so much they could do with Metal Gear. Like, again, I think it might be more like, was it 3 or is it the Phantom Pain is more like a military kind of shooter game a little bit, where they could take it more of like, this is like a war, and like they're just trying to get the Metal Gear, because like some stuff like, was it like liquid revolver, liquid ocelot, like the arm gets transplanted onto another dude, like that personality from the arm takes over the guy. I'm like, there's so much weird shit in Metal Gear, but this is fine. This is cool. I'm down with this. Let's have some fun with this along the way. And I think the director's great. To me, one of the things about those directors, Mike, you may not know this, they did some of the Fraggle Rock for Disney on Apple. So I'm like, okay, they've got sensibilities on both sides of the aisle, so that's really fun for me. But we'll keep you guys posted as we hear more about these games. But speaking of game adaptations to movies, Mortal Kombat is coming out April. I bought my tickets because we had a trailer, released a final trailer saying tickets are on sale. This trailer is cut for the on the fencers, I think, Mike, because there are three things here. There are shots that show you classic levels from the video games, right? Like there's like this one where it's called the Deadpool, where it's that underground like sewer with like the acid pools around it. There's a couple shots on that. I think there's like the one where it's like, oh, you're on the bridge, you get knocked off the bridge on the spikes. Ed Boon makes a cameo. The creator of Mortal Kombat himself is in here, and the return of the original Mortal Kombat theme song from the movie in the 90s. This had me so jazzed. It sounds like I had you jazzed too, but like I was loving how this is an actual tournament. There are tons of fights, and there are so many goddamn characters from Mortal Kombat going on with this.
Yeah, what was that Beatles movie that the fans were trying to sue because Anna de Armas like didn't end up being in it?
Oh yeah. It's the guy who
Yesterday, is that what it's called?
Yeah, Yesterday, because the guy he woke up and nobody else remembered who the Beatles were. They didn't exist. And he was saying the song.
So what I'm trying to say is, if this movie does not have like this Mortal Kombat theme just like pounding through the movie, like every act, like every excuse to play this song, they should be cramming it in the movie. I think we should sue.
Yeah,
if it doesn't make an appearance at all.
Bait and switch. Yeah, I think I agree with you on that entirely.
It's crazy just how absolutely iconic it is. Like it's back in the day. It reminds me of like, the Jock Jam song. Like you could put both of these on like a burn CD, like in your like 97 Ford Escort, and just be like jamming down a country road, just amping yourself up.
From Blade, like the intro song to Blade when he walks into the blood.
Oh my
rain.
God. Yeah, some Sandstorm, was it Derude? What are they?
Yeah, and like Zombie Nation by Kraftwerks. Yeah, it's electro. Yeah, like it's of the 90s electro club music.
Yeah, it's crazy like how watching this trailer all of a sudden like activated me. All of the other trailers, I was just like, well, obviously we love Carl Urban, but like I feel like I don't need to be attached to this movie in any way. But man, that theme, it goes hard.
Yes, and on top of that, with this trailer, they went full ham on the popcorn bucket releases. And I sent Mike, I just seen them. I was getting them in kind of drips, as different theaters announce what they have. The first and foremost, the one I think to me is the coolest, I sent to Mike. It's a clapboard from Johnny Cage's movies, an actual film slate that opens up and you put popcorn in it. That's all we've been. How long have we talked about having our own superhero slate popcorn bucket? And they just go ahead and make one.
We have the sample now. Now we just got to turn it into a 3D print, and we can eat popcorn out of our logo.
Yeah, I'll do it. By God, don't tempt me. I will do it somehow, because it's just a rectangle box with a lid on a hinge. It'll be awesome. The other one I was really impressed by is the Test Your Might arcade, little arcade cabinet that you open up and put popcorn in, which obviously is someone who's an arcade gamer. Love that design. Love the feel of that. When Shao Kahn's helmet goes on a popcorn bucket, the big metal helmet you open up, get popcorn out of his head. They've got drink toppers, they got light up cups. Like they're going ham on this merch for this, and I haven't seen a merch blitz like this in a hot minute for theater stuff. Do you have any of any of these reach out to you on your level? Because like I know the song activated you, but any of the merch get there for you?
The merch, not so much. Okay. The Shao Kahn helmet is basically kind of like the category of popcorn helmet we've stated, where it's just like you're opening up someone's head and eating popcorn out of it. And then it's kind of got that really overly like CGI'd like weather texturing that I'm sure we'll see in the movie. So I was like, I don't really know if any Mortal Kombat fans are going to be like really trying to get this one. I was also surprised because I totally forgot anything that happens in the first movie. But I think Scorpion is played by the actor that's in the FX show Shogun.
Yeah, he is.
So now I have like an extra connection to this movie of like, oh, I liked Shogun, also, and I watched that recently.
He is in the Wolverine movie as one of the samurai Logan fights.
You need to go back and watch that.
Yeah. with that. So yeah, I went back and looked at the popcorn buckets. Oh, the arcade collectible containers on its side. I no longer care about this. The slate I'm fucking getting though. That's a Cinemark. I know where that is. But anyway, I like Mortal Kombat. This is for me. Again, I just love the game. I love playing it. This is right up my alley. And the main focus seems to be Carl Urban when he's not dropping the C word like he does in The Boys every other sentence. So love that. Marvel Zombies Season 2 is officially in the works of Marvel Animation. News I didn't expect to get this week or anytime soon, to be completely honest. But Brad Winderbaum has confirmed he's seen the first episode scenes. I think some dailies I think he got from the first episode. So they're already animating this. They've got scripts. It's in production. This is fun. I'm glad that the first one kind of ended on a cliffhanger, kind of unknown. I'm excited to see what they can do with Season 2. Will this get like a multi-season order? I doubt it. But I'm glad they're not just leaving us on a cliffhanger from the first season.
Yeah, it was interesting. I kind of figured that Marvel animated art style was maybe being put out to pasture, because I don't think we have anything else announced.
In that style?
Wait,
no.
Because Eyes of Wakanda, we're not getting another one of that.
As of right now, no Eyes of Wakanda. The only other your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man is getting more, but that's a different art style.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Different style. Okay.
Yeah, Marvel Zombies is still the continuation of like the What If kind of designs they had going on there. I'm interested to see what voice actors they're able to get, or what voice acting they're able to get back from the main crew. Yeah, I didn't expect this. And honestly, I think the other thing is like this will probably come out, I'm gonna guess, before Secret Wars, because not that Marvel Zombies is a quote unquote multiverse show, but it is a multiverse in Marvel, right? And it feels like they're trying to wrap that up with Secret Wars.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured they might try to get this out before Secret Wars, maybe Halloween of next year. But like at the same time, if this went on past Secret Wars, I don't think anyone's going to bat an eye and think, oh, multiverse at Marvel Zombies. It is essentially just a zombie show with Marvel characters. So very excited for that. It's a fun little surprise in there. We also got our first trailer for The Punisher, One Last Kill. As we talked about at the top of the show. A special presentation is dropping May 12th. Frank seems to be going through it, man. He's got some flashbacks. His is that like a counselor or therapist from the first series on Netflix is back, but he's also not back. Like he's fading in and out of scenes, it looks like. So how much of this is in Frank's head? We get to see, is he's lit on fire, or maybe he's in a dream where he's lit on fire. I couldn't tell the if that was real or not. We get to see him in the Punisher outfit, the skull icon doing what he does best, fighting people with guns on a rooftop. I don't know what to make of this. Like, this is very is it in his head or not? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to get at here. Is this, how much of this is going to be real?
I mean, obviously it looks awesome. I mean, there's some really cinematic shots in here where you can kind of tell this is kind of halfway in between like a feature and maybe like a season finale of like a Punisher TV show. So there's a lot of screaming. He does a lot of gruff yelling, which you can see featured in the thumbnail for our podcast this week. I do kind of wonder overall, which maybe we'll get some more story points in another trailer of like what is the point? All respect paid to the team who made this, but what is the point of this? Like, is this are we trying to bridge a practical gap here before we see him in Spider-Man? I don't know. Did they just get a lot of audience testing back and they're just like, wow, people really love John Bernthal, let's do a project with him? Mm-hmm. I just don't really know functionally what we're trying to do to Frank Castle that kind of hasn't already been done either in his Netflix show or at least his kind of appearance in the last season of Daredevil. I mean, he's kind of basically what is like Frank Castle's arc, right? You try to have him emotionally recover from the loss of his family, and I suppose his constant battle is just like, who should I kill and who deserves it? And should I be killing at all?
Right.
It reminds me of it feels like vintage now, the Arrow on the CW,
Oh yeah.
where Oliver Queen was like killing people, I think for at least the first two
At
seasons,
least
maybe.
one, maybe two. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he goes through like a whole thing where he's like, I'm not going to kill people anymore. And then I think he eventually goes back to killing people. I don't remember. That show ran for a really long time. So, like, is that what Frank's going to do? I'm not sure.
Well, yeah. To me, the Punisher always kills, and the title saying "one last kill," it to me indicates maybe he could be trying not to do it. But we saw from the Spider-Man trailer, number one, he's active in New York. He's wearing his Punisher
Mhm.
outfit, and he's trying to kill people, because he had that grenade launcher, right? They shoot at the tank. So I think this is we're going to get rid of maybe the constantly mentally, emotionally tortured Frank Castle, and move towards oh, okay, I've gotten over this. I've killed maybe the last person who reminds me of my previous life, and I'm going to come out the other side as the Punisher, from the comic books, who is doing street level stuff and causing chaos, fighting bad guys. Because
Yeah.
that Frank does not look like in the Spider-Man trailer, the one that we got in this trailer at all. Like they look very like the tone's different. I know the movies are tonally different and rated different, but like this feels more like that Frank in the truck feels like a Frank who's been doing it for a little while. And he's like, yeah, I know what I'm about here, trying to get done along the way.
Yeah. One thing that's becoming a little slightly difficult for me watching this new season of Daredevil is they are really depicting New York as this place that has been totally co-opted by the Kingpin. It almost feels like just 1 degree lower, like when Bane completely took over Gotham in The Dark Knight Rises, right? So, like, I just feel like when we see Spider-Man later this year, I just really don't feel like the anti-vigilante task force is going to be anywhere to be seen. I think damage control is going to be kind of the fill-in for like goons for him to beat up. But it does kind of feel like Marvel is kind of telling two separate
Well,
stories here.
You've missed two whole different spoilers in the Spider-Man trailer. So you keep thinking that and you keep watching the show and you'll know why by the end.
Because, well, I mean, I was able to look past, like, because everyone was talking about, well, come on, like, the Sentry totally blacked out New York, and how is this not popping up in Daredevil? I can let that slide just by the sake of New York was, like, literally blacked out for what in reality maybe 20 minutes. Like, it's just one singular day in New York City. And in the world of Marvel, crazy shit happens in New York like year round on the calendar. So I can let the Thunderbolts connection slide, right? That's not a big deal to me. But like this current season of Daredevil is really showing like New York City on lockdown, totally against vigilantes, like public sentiment being all over the place. And I'm just really curious, since Punisher is kind of caught in between these two storylines, like maybe there's going to be something going on here in a special presentation that tries to connect the thread somehow.
Yeah. Well, there's an answer in the Spider-Man trailer about that. So I think there's a reason why you don't see why Spider-Man looks different than this, and I think we'll get our answer here. But we're halfway. Is it halfway through Daredevil? Right, 4 episodes I think so far. So
I think so.
Yeah. So this comes out right. My thing is, why is this place the day like this took the final day of Daredevil season 2, and they did that double episode on week 2. So does this show the Punisher because he was in the last season? And I think he was taken by the ATF right at the end of it in like custody. He was surrounded by the corrupt cops. Like, is this going to show us how he gets out of that scenario?
Oh, they show it in a post-credit scene. It's a little of the first season. It's a little underwhelming. Okay. Like he just kind of like, hey, you like me, like, because I'm your like idol, like come over here and like let me bum a cigarette or something. I don't remember exactly what it was, but basically the guard made a mistake of getting a little too close to the cage, and like Frank just like kind of pulled him forward and like, I don't know, like broke his neck or something. It was a little anticlimactic, but I guess very Punisher,
Yeah. And my guess is they're probably still hunting him. I want to know, there's that fire scene in this, and you put it in our trailer there. Like, it looks like they're flooding his apartment with flammable material, and it kind of goes up. I'm like, I wonder if that's actually like something going on or not in there. But I am sure, because again, the thing about the Punisher movies, he in this, he will be killing people, he'll be shooting them, they'll be dying, and he does some really cool stuff out of nowhere. My recommendation for people who may or may not have seen the Punisher Warzone, please watch that. There are some really cool things in that one. Frank blows up a dude with a rocket launcher, and it's pretty fun. So I'd love to see this. And watching this, like, I'm clipping through the trailer, he's throwing people off of buildings. He's jumping off a building backwards and shooting people. This seems to be like a good time. So I'm excited to see, the Punisher, Marvel's, the MCU Punisher, tee up for us in full effect and launch us into a brand new day, which might get a new trailer this week. CinemaCon's going on. We'll talk about CinemaCon. Spider-Man had like a full page, so if they get a new teaser, we'll let everybody know as well. Deadpool 4, Mike, there's a rumor going out there that it will be the first movie that kicks off post-Secret Wars storytelling for Marvel in May 2028. That this, because there's ties to the TVA and he had multiverse hopping, this might be the first movie to ease people into the new world without hitting us with maybe
interesting approach. I mean, I suppose you do have the flexibility of that character there, but I don't know, there's a part of me that would almost hope if they're kind of starting off new, maybe they would start off a little bit more earnest. Like a little less full of like the meta jokes and humor, even though Marvel is like very well known for that. And most of the time they pull it off really, really well. And I have a good time in the theater laughing. It just feels like maybe you would want to start off in a little bit more of a solid foundation, like with like a classic style, like just really good X-Men movie. But I don't know if maybe I can't imagine. Well, actually I can't imagine. Ryan Reynolds could actually do Deadpool like in perpetuity if you wanted to, because it's like the Mandalorian, like they're just throwing a dude in that suit. They could just put a different dude in that suit and he just shows up in the ADR booth.
Well, I could go on for a while. There's a couple things here. X-Men's ballsy, like that's bold. If you swing, Secret Wars is still a swing and then you come out swinging again, hopefully they're both hits, right? Like they're not flops. And I think they need a safer bet, and X-Men's not the safe bet. I think everyone would maybe agree. Black Panther 3 would have been something that I would have gone with, right? Something very much like, look, Ryan Coogler coming off his Sinners wins is popping back into Black Panther 3 to finish his story, would be there. Deadpool, the only reason I can see it working is if you want to set that board up straight, Deadpool can literally do like instead of having a scrolling text at the beginning of whatever movie it is, he's literally just telling you, he's like, oh, I need to go check out, I need to find Captain America. Oh, Steve Rogers, like, no, who's Steve Rogers? We don't have that anymore. Like, he's the guy who can do the jokes to reference things that he would remember, but like don't really exist in this universe, and be able to tell us very quickly, that's true, that's false, that's new, that's different along the way. And still be like, yeah, this is Deadpool. He's known for doing that shtick along the way. Also, is Deadpool? Do you feel Deadpool 4 is like a sure thing? Like, I feel like it's more of a pretty sure thing, right? Like, in terms of like box office, like Deadpool's gonna get the audience out there.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just trying to. I feel like Deadpool's great because he's good at responding to the culture. So I feel like would it be responding to these last two, movies, right? Because it very heavily relied on the infrastructure of the TVA to be around. So is it going to be hooking into something else? I don't know. A lot of questions moving forward with this universe in general.
Yeah. Honestly, we're not going to get those answers probably until Secret Wars either. But I am interested to know what's your first step afterwards. I think after Endgame was done, the first one we had was Far From Home, right? They went right into Spider-Man, which was, Spider-Man's a safe bet. It's good, but they kind of just they gloss over the blip so fast. I was like, this is disappointing. So hopefully, like you said, when they start off fresh, they're able to land and give us something good for that. Moving on. Avengers Doomsday. We just talked about Secret Wars, but let's go back to Doomsday. There's a rumor that a trailer could be released for CinemaCon, which I think their booth is the 16th. So this Thursday, I believe. Which is cool. Could be for attendees only. Maybe not publicly released. We might get a leak. I think we need one. I think we need a trailer. And I'm going to tell you, there's two things right now. Number one, I've heard, I've seen data showing Avengers Doomsday is absolutely popping off outside of our realm, like in the realm of like normal people. Like everyone's like, oh my God, Avengers. We're so excited for this movie later in the year. Great. Number two, Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man overtook Supergirl for the most anticipated movie last week as well. So I think we need a trailer, and also tying to our next bullet point here in a little bit, Mike. But I think we need a trailer ASAP for Doomsday. What do you think? A full trailer?
Oh, absolutely. It needs some meat to it. I mean, there's rumors floating around I've seen where they don't believe Doomsday is even unmasked, or Doctor Doom is not even unmasked his own movie. So, like, what's the point of it being Robert Downey Jr. if you don't see his face? And, you know, if you were saving it as a reveal, why would you have announced it publicly? So, like, Chris, like you said, the rumors are running wild. There's also a small little bit of Disney Plus MCU news where there was, I know it's an insider report, so they'll say whatever they want to say, but She-Hulk was like one of the most successful Marvel shows that they ever made, and they would love to make more if they could. And if you just read the loudest people on the internet about that show, you would have guessed that it was a complete abject failure, because the loudest, smallest, angriest voices.
The same thing happened with the Acolyte, yeah.
Yeah, but I think the problem with the Acolyte was it was so expensive.
Right.
So
well,
everyone's
like they canceled it because it was too woke, or everybody hated it. Well, it's not true. It was the most watched Star Wars show. She-Hulk is probably just as expensive. Like no doubt about that either. But either way, like it's like data is telling us different stories than the internet.
Yeah, so I think it's just, as it's always been, it's really hard to tell like what's going on inside that black box of Marvel. And I think maybe that's a good thing, right? Yeah. I always giggle every time I see James Gunn like go on his Threads account and like just blast like Deadline or something, saying like, I haven't talked to any of these actresses. None of these women are going to be in Man of Tomorrow, and I wish you would have come to me and asked. And it's like, okay, Gunn, I don't think any of them are going to come to you because you're supposed to be busy making stuff. Get off of the internet.
Yeah.
So I do have to like take that as a reminder of like, I'm glad Feige's not constantly on the internet like posting stuff.
Yeah, I think the thing that Doomsday needs as a trailer, even if it's a teaser, it doesn't need to be the story trailer, is we need to see Doom. We need to see it. We don't need to see Robert Downey Jr. We need to see a live action Doom in motion, not just the concept art, not just the posters, not just the merch. We need to see him and how like menacing and imposing he can be. People need to know that because, the average viewer may know or heard of Doctor Doom. They may remember the run from the mid 2000s movies. Hopefully they don't remember the melted trash bag looking version from the 2010s.
Yeah.
But like they need to do this because like they've already teased who the actor is. They need to show actually what he looks like. And it could be a 30 seconds. It doesn't need to be long. Maybe a minute. I just want to see, people need to see it. I think that would really take the hype level through the roof.
I mean, we've gotten the full Dune Chapter 3 trailer.
Yeah.
Where's our Doomsday trailer?
That's what I'm talking about. So the other thing this week,
I mean, we might be getting Doomsday a couple weeks before Dune.
Yeah.
So shouldn't we have the trailer by now?
Well, we've talked about that, and we should have some. Well, normally I would think they have May, but they have nothing coming out this May, and they shouldn't wait till Spider-Man comes out. That's another whole story. But Dune Part 3 had a trailer a couple weeks ago, and they've also already put the IMAX 70mm tickets on sale. They sold out immediately almost. So Dune is already selling tickets for a December movie and selling out immediately. So we do have Doomsday coming. To me, Dune is doing the smart thing, doing a strategic sale to beat Doomsday to seats. So Dune has exclusive IMAX timing in the 18th when they both come out. So they can sell IMAX tickets for sure because they know they have that locked down. and they can say it's trending ahead of Doomsday because of that. So from a marketing point of view, Mike, from a strict standpoint of like, hey, what are we going to do? How are we going to get people hyped? Dune is beating Doomsday by a long shot. They actually have dollars to show for it at this point. Doomsday does not, and while it may not need it, I think it needs to, if it's going to maintain its release date and not pull back earlier, which it could and probably should. It sounds like you're conceding if you move your date, but if you're moving it earlier, doesn't it sound like you're giving everyone, like all the fans, a favor? Like, here's an early Christmas present, which is cool. So I think Doomsday does need this trailer, and Dune is, they're not being dirty, but by God, I've never seen tickets on sale 8 months before the actual release like that. Like, that's like concert level tickets.
That's Christopher Nolan ticket sale strategy.
Yeah. Were the Odyssey tickets on sale yet? I don't know.
I think so. Yeah. I think they went on sale last year. I'm not even kidding. I think it was a limited run, but
yeah. Well, either
definitely.
way. Yeah. So I think we need this. No shade to Dune. I don't know what part 3 is going to do. I read that book. It's like the most boring book, but it's got Robert Pattinson. It's got Timothée Chalamet. It's got Zendaya in another movie this year. Like, you know, so there's a lot going on that can't be ignored by the powerhouse that will be Dune. And I thought it was going to move because of the Warner Brother Paramount acquisition, but I will gladly eat my crow and admit like it ain't moving. It's holding still. Those tickets are already sold. They're counting on those seats for the 18th at IMAX. So with that, if Doomsday tickets came out next week, Mike, would you buy them?
Yes.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna have to. It's right around the holiday. I gotta see the movie as quick and as fast as possible, and then I'll probably be hopping on a plane back to the Midwest to see family. So I will be on top of this. I'll be locking down the babysitter
He is
like half a year in advance.
Travel plans around seeing
Yes,
Doomsday.
absolutely. I must.
Well, if they happen to be when you're here and we can get tickets together, I will ensure that happens as well for that. But anyway, that's the show for this week. We've got people chatting again. Who Dat for Life Chris coming back with the One Piece knowledge in our YouTube chat. So if you're not watching our YouTubes on Sunday, you should go subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's really fun, and we'll chat with you as much as we can. And we have a lot of people who want to come in here and help with the stuff we're talking about, especially One Piece, because I wouldn't say we're idiots, but we're
naive.
Yeah,
I think by definition we are naive when it comes to the One Piece world.
Ignorant, even. I would call myself ignorant because I just don't know.
Sometimes I'll be in bed at night and trying to fall asleep, and I think of like the One Piece map of the planet, and I'm just like, how does this planet exist? It would be cool to visit it. It's crazy how there's just one giant mountain that goes in reverse, and then they decide, let's just call it Reverse Mountain.
Yeah.
I'm sure it has a cooler name in like the Japanese translation, or at least maybe it has a little bit more gravitas to the way it sounds. But
let's see here. I am pulling I pull up a One Piece map, Mike, to show you the world. Because I assume there's something going on with the like, it's not like it's a globe of some line, right? So like, I'm gonna give you the map that I just saw on Reddit.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of them before. It's like I imagine if Artemis went to the moon and then slipped into a wormhole and then showed up outside of this One Piece planet. Yeah, I guess it's weird. There's this one where it almost looks like I guess the world is covered in water, but if you project it as a flat rectangular map, it almost kind of looks like two bodies of water surrounded by ground. I don't know. It's wild. But basically there's like that one band, right, that goes all the way around the map. I need a Google Earth of the One Piece. I need something interactive.
Map, yeah.
Yeah, these Orna. Oh, well, here's one. Well, it's not interactive as far as I can tell. But it's cool. I love it. I want to give me a One Piece video game, people. I don't want a fighter. I don't want like a Naruto style, like Street Fighter where you're just plugging in characters and you get like combos. I want on a boat. I want to get my compass and I want to go from little island to little island. Make it happen.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. I'm trying to I'm like some of these island names look like I've seen. There's Alabasta in the Grand Line, which I think is the middle.
Also, I know this is a silly question. I'm sure it's answered by like the wind doesn't blow that way. But like if you look at a map, you have like that mountain, that landmass, right? Where Reverse Mountain is. And then you go through it, and then on the other side of the landmass is like the Grand Line. Why can't you just sail the other direction if you're on a globe?
Well,
Like why can't you just go? Because like in
these
my mind,
these
like
aren't connected. The left and the right are not connected.
because in my mind, like narratively, right, like you progress like across the Grand Line, and at the very end is where you, I guess, find your prize or whatever. So I'm like, oh, let's just turn around and go the other direction. But I'm guessing there's an answer to that, and somebody will help me.
Yeah, well, again, I think there's, like I said, if you look at this map, there's land on the left and right. They don't connect. You don't go to the right and then go through that land, it looks like. But
do they have their own Strait of Hormuz here? Is there somebody stopping the flow of resources
the
on
Seven
this land
Warlords,
too?
the Seven Warlords, Mike, we've already talked about this. But I honestly, like, I think the world is interesting. They have giants. They have magic fruit. There's so much going on here. Like, we can't apply, I guess straight logic to it. But boy, there's a lot going on here. I'm very excited to get into some of these other.
Oh, Chris, I just found a map that I think answered my question. I'm looking at it here. So theoretically, I guess you could go the opposite direction, but you couldn't finish your thing by boat. You would have to get out on land, and you'd have to cross over land to get to the other side. But see, this is what I didn't realize. Okay, if you're looking at the map on the right side, or I guess the east side, you have the Grand Line of Reverse Mountain. On the other side of Reverse Mountain, it's called the Sekia? Sekai. I don't know how to pronounce that. So I guess there's less interesting stuff happening to the west of Reverse Mountain, and all the fun stuff is happening in the Grand Line.
Well, you're missing out here because if you look at the map here, there's a whole cake island.
Ooh, cake.
Yeah, and if you look around at the one I sent you, there's like jelly, liquor, milk, ice, potato, nuts, jam, flavor, biscuits. I like this. All right. Well, anyway, this is it. We're gonna get back into One Piece again. We're not a One Piece show, even though we could be. Pay us enough, we'll do it. But Mike, if people don't know what you're up to, what you're doing, what ship you're sailing on, where can they find you at?
Yeah, you can read my webcomics at liferewardsrisk.com and pickledcomics.com. Chris, if people want to catch up with you, where can they find you?
Find me on Instagram, Valdan87, VALDAN, or video games of the same name. If people know about the show, where they come get these show notes, all the other stuff we've been doing, any other goodies, where can they get all of our stuff at?
Yes, after you traverse Reverse Mountain and then splash down, avoid the whale, and then you will find us at superheroslate.com. We are on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, wherever else you're listening to podcasts. You can get merch at superheroslate.com/store. We love hearing from you. We love it when you reach out in the comments, when you message us anywhere online. I believe our email address is and has always been superheroslate@gmail.com. We're casual like that. We got the Gmail email address, so reach out to us. We love hearing from you, and we love our super fans. If you want to be a super fan of Superhero Slate, all you have to do is share the show with a friend, share the show with a buddy, and we will be here every week, folks.
That's right. We'll see you guys next week.